This is a retro Wi-Fi modem, and it's a device that allows you to connect old computers to the modern internet. It takes the form of a dial-up modem, and if we look around the back, you'll see that it's got an RS-232 serial port for connection to the computer. However, what it doesn't have is the phone line socket, and that's because this does not connect to a phone line, but instead to your modern Wi-Fi network. And I've had a lot of fun getting old computers onto the internet using this device. Here's an example of that. This is my Cambridge Z88. It's a portable Z80-based computer, and by loading some terminal software on it, I can then dial out to a BBS over Telnet, for example, by putting in the domain name that I'm connecting to rather than the phone number, and then I can access it from this computer. And that's been an awful lot of fun. However, this is not the only portable Z80-based computer I've got. This is my TI-83 Plus graphical calculator, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to try to get that online. And so what I've done is I've built this. This is the TI-WiFiModem, and it's running pretty much exactly the same firmware as the retro Wi-Fi modem, except instead of having an RS-232 serial port, it's got the calculator's link port on the front of it. So that connects to the link port on the bottom of the calculator, and then by running some terminal software on the calculator, you can now access the internet. Now, I'm going to give you a little demonstration of the sorts of things that are possible with this setup in a moment, but first I'm going to take this little modem apart and show you what's going on inside, because the circuit is very simple. This is what makes it all work. It's an ESP81S module, which houses the ESP8266 microcontroller, and it's plugged into this small circuit board underneath that provides the required support components, which in this case is just the jack socket for connection to the calculator, 3 resistors, and a small power supply on the end here that's made up using a voltage regulator to turn the 5 volts coming in into the 3.3 volts required by the module. Now, to initially program this ESP81S module, you'll need a programmer of some description, and I use one of these little USB adapters that plugs into your computer. You then plug the module in like that, and then you can program that using the Arduino IDE. Once you've done that, you can just unplug that there, and then plug it into your modem circuit board, and you're ready to go. Okay, so I've now got the calculator and the modem set up, and for software I'm going to be using Telnet 83 Plus. So if I run that and then switch on the modem, I've been powering it from a USB phone charger, hopefully within a few seconds that should connect to the network, and we should get the OK prompt, which means all is good. If I type ATI, I can get a little bit more information. If I scroll up here, I can see that the Wi-Fi status is connected. There's the SSID of my router, MAC address, IP address, gateway, all that sort of useful information is presented there. So what am I going to do now? I am going to dial out to a service. I'm going to connect to the level 29 BBS, and to do that I type ATDT to dial out, and this is accessible from bbs.foztex.com, like that. Press enter, and that'll dial. It's connected, and there's the welcome screen. Now, quite a lot of information came in, so I'm going to have to scroll around a bit, but you can see here we get this little mini-map that shows where we are. So yes, welcome to the new level 29 BBS. It's got its phone number, and it's like a domain name, a nice bit of ASCII art there, level 29, the official BBS of retrobattlestations.com, and it's asking me to enter your username, or new, or visitor. So I'm just going to type in visitor, because we're just passing by. Oops, press enter. What's this asking? Terminal size, columns and rows, 80 by 24 will be fine. Terminal type, ANSI, well actually technically it is VT, oops, yeah, 100. Character set, ASCII, that'll do. And here this is showing the most recent callers. I'm caller number 95 for the 25th of March. Connected at 9,600 BPS. That doesn't really make sense because this is not a serial connection. An RS-232 serial connection, but never mind. Most recent callers and the most active dial-up accounts. I'm just going to press another key here. So I can read new messages, read all messages, read message by number, post a message, or search messages. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to search for messages and see if anyone has said anything about the Z80. I suppose I could look up TI-83+, but I'll just look for Z80 for now. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got some posts here. Those are the post numbers. If I scroll to the right, you can see the dates, summary, hello everybody, connecting. We'll see there's someone connecting from a BBC Master 128. The first computer I really programmed was the BBC Master 128. But anyway, 13884, Foztex himself has commented back in August of 2022. So 13884, let's see what he says there. So I'm going to quit from the listing of search results. Oops, sorry. Type the number 9 there because I was in numeric mode. Okay, I'm going to read a message by number. So to do that, I need to type in a hash sign, which is Shift and 3. Go to message number and what was that message number? 13884. That's 13884. Press enter. Here we go, and he's saying the MC68K Z80 combination with a Z80 for I/O is definitely something that piques my interest. Don't see many like them. To which Foztex has replied, except for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive, which is of course very true. I'm going to quit. Oh, I'm still in number mode. Quit that. And here I'm back to the main menu. Log off is option O, so I'm going to press O. And it's saying that I have not posted any new messages. Would I really like to log off? Well, I'm going to say yes for now. Say goodbye. And that should hang up, no carrier. So there we go. I've been online for 3 minutes and 24 seconds connected to that BBS. Let's have another look at another example. I'm going to connect to the Discworld MUD. So 80DT, and this is going to be, oops, disk world dot imaginary, oops, imaginary.com. Sorry about my slow typing here. That should connect to the Discworld MUD. There you go, LP MUD. There's again a lot of information up here on the screen. Silently, slowly and surely, great Atuin paddles through space. Its great eyes surveying the dark, empty wastes before and behind it. Now, of course, reading a lot of text on screen like this is perhaps not the most practical thing on a calculator, but I'm going to go for a guest character. I used to have a login on here many, many years ago. I have a hope in hell of remembering what that is. Oh, and one thing with this site is I'll need to have local echo switched on because I won't be able to see what I'm typing otherwise. And I'm going to log in as Ben Rives as my guest name. I would like it to be capitalized. That will do. Should my character be male or female? Let's go male. Am I using a screen reader? I know that's asking because I've seen that prompt before. No. And I've got to read the terms and conditions. See if I scroll up to the top. To play Discworld, you must agree to the following terms and conditions. Profanity is not allowed. Harassment of any kind is not allowed. Immediate banishment. Robot scripts. You may not have more than one character at a time. Bugs must be reported. Please read the terms and conditions. I have read the terms and conditions before. But here this is now prompting me to type in yes. That I agree to the terms and conditions. And now hopefully this will drop us into the game. It's receiving a lot of data. The little receiving data indicator is lit up. There we go. And now if I scroll up to the top, inventory regeneration complete. And then here, this is the main bar of Ankh-Morpork's most infamous pub, the Mended Drum. So here I'm now connected to a MUD. You can see things are happening down here. Unexpected Brim Buttons scribbles something on you. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quit because I don't really have time to play the game, but I just hope this was a good example, or an example, of how you can use this modem to dial out to internet services. This modem doesn't just make outgoing connections, but it can also accept incoming connections. To assist with this demonstration, I've set up my retro Wi-Fi modem here on COM port 2 on my computer. And here I've got a serial terminal open so I can send it some commands. I'm going to start by disabling hardware handshaking, like that. And I'm also going to disable the clear to send line, which is currently asserted. I'm going to deassert that like that. So that's now ready to go. You can see here the carrier detect light is not on. That's because I'm not in an active connection. So to set up a connection, I'm going to type ATDT. I'm going to dial into the calculators modem. I'm going to prefix the host name with a minus sign because I want a raw connection rather than a telnet connection. So there we go, TI-WiFiModem, and I'm going to connect to it on port 83, and that's now going to dial out. And as you can see, that is now connected. The CD light has come on. On my calculator screen as well, I can see that it rang once before picking up, and it is now connected. So if I type hello on my calculator screen, that comes through to the PC. If I type hello on my PC, that comes through to the calculator screen. Now, you can't see that, I'm afraid, but so you'll just have to take my word for it. But if I now close that software and run TI Connect instead, this is the software used to connect your calculator to transfer files to and from it. And if I run that, it's now going to search and see if it can find something. Well, it can't find anything. I'm currently connected. Oops, there we go. Running the terminal software there. So if I quit to the home screen, there we go. You can see that on COM2, it is seeing a TI-83+. Well, in fact, that's not a TI-83+. It's my retro Wi-Fi modem. But because it's connecting to this modem is connected to the network. It's sending its data to this modem, which is currently connected to, with the, you can see the CD light is on there. And then this modem is connected to the calculator. So it's sending data over the network between these two devices, but in effect, it's connecting that serial connection there to this serial connection here. So if I now select that, let's see if this does anything. I have found that TI Connect is not very tolerant of the fact that there's a network connection between these two, but there it has managed to get a directory listing from the calculator. I can see here, if I expand my protected programs, see here are all the programs I've got installed on my calculator. If I go into application variables up here, here's the telnet variable. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag that onto the desktop, and hopefully this will be able to download the file from the calculator. See, lots of flashing LED activity. Let's see what that does. Oh, it seems to be working. There we go, telnet.8xv. There's the app-var. Now if I open that, I think it's under send to xv32. There we go, this is a hex editor. And you can see here the text on here. This app-var, the telnet app-var, is what stores the session state when you've closed the program. And you can see here, if I scroll down, you can see here that's the, when it was ringing, that's the text that was displayed on the calculator screen. And in fact, I typed hello after that, didn't I? There we go, hello. So that's what I typed on the computer. You couldn't see it at the time because it was coming through to the calculator screen. But yes, you can see that there is the connection. So that seems to be working. Let's have a look at a screen image. And let's put up a slightly more interesting screen. There we go, I've brought up the program listing. If I now take a screenshot, let's see what that does. Flicker of LED activity, and there we go. There is a screenshot of my calculator screen carried over the network between these two modems. As I say, it's a very, very impractical way to transfer software to and from your calculator, but yeah, it seems to have done the trick. Now, one thing that I'm assuming is not going to work is going back the other way. Let's try that. Let's try sending this telnet variable back to the calculator and seeing what it makes of that. Starting transfer, transferring. This quite often fails because it's not, oh no, well, let's see, let's try replacing that. See if it manages to send the file over. Well, that seems to have worked. Yep, there's flurry of activity. It's getting the directory listing, and there we go. Now, I would say that one of the problems I've got here is that I have a very unreliable Wi-Fi connection, and even though these modems are right next to each other, it is having to connect to the router that's in another room, and quite often, any sort of dropped packets or anything like that, or delayed packets rather, it really struggles with. TI Connect gets very grumpy when that happens. So quite often I found that I've been able to download a file from the calculator but not been able to put one back. So let's try a bigger program. Let's try downloading Mario. It's quite a large program. That's in the archive. Let's see if that manages. Well, it's trying. See, the read light here is going crazy because I'm reading data from the calculator. It looks like it's retrying. So yes, this is usually what happens. There we go. Current transfer fails, a retry may be successful. Yes, I say, unfortunately, this is not a very robust way to exchange data with the calculator, but as a proof of concept, and as sort of a demonstration of how these devices can be used together, hopefully it's an interesting one. I would now like to demonstrate a slightly more practical way to get files onto the calculator across the internet. And to assist with this, I've set up a server that's running on a computer in the other room, and I'm going to dial into that with the command attdt, then a minus to disable telnet. I just want a raw connection, the name of the computer, which is my name, Ben Rives, and then the port number, which is 8383. So if I dial into that, we should connect. There we go, and I get the welcome message. And this server is set up to serve files, so if I type dir to get a directory listing, it will show me the files that are available. We've got Ice Climb, Mario, and Rush Hour in there. Not the biggest selection, but the one that I think is the most interesting is this group file, Mario, because that contains two files, the Super Mario game for the calculator and the level set. So I'm going to get that file, and to retrieve it I need to type get, and then type in Mario.8xg, like that. If I now press enter, it's going to tell me what it's going to do. It's going to be sending these two files, Mario and Nagel, and it then tells me this prompt here that I need to press enter, quit the terminal program, and then use the calculator's built-in networking system, the link menu, to receive the files. And this is similar to the way that you might use X modem or Y modem when dialing into a BBS. You'll use a separate application or program to actually handle the file transfers separately to how you're communicating with the server here. So when I press enter, it's going to give me 10 seconds before it starts sending the file. So that's why I thought I'd give the explanation of what's happening now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press enter, sending file in 10 seconds. I'm going to quit that, second link, go to the receive menu, press enter. It's now waiting to receive the files. And the server will, 10 seconds time, there we go, start pushing the files across the network. So it's receiving one file. Hopefully that does receive. There we go, it's received Mario and the level set. Brilliant. So if I now quit that, go like that into Mirage OS, I've now got Mario in my program list, and I can run that. Super Mario. Brilliant. And there's the level set we just also sent over. I'm going to quit out of that if I can. There we go. I am going to also archive that because that has left us with very little RAM free, and we won't actually be able to run the terminal program. I think we can leave the levels in RAM for now. I'm going to go back into here, scroll down, go back into telnet. So if I now press enter to let them know I'm back here, transfer completed, 2 succeeded, 0 skipped, and 0 failed. So if I try that again, I'm going to get, and this time get, Mario.8xg, press enter, press enter again, I'm going to quit this, quit, link, receive. And the reason for using this manual process is that it allows you, the calculator, to present this user interface where you get things like duplicates. So I can now choose to rename the program, overwrite it, skip it, or as it says, omit, or quit. I'm going to omit Mario, and I'm going to overwrite the level set. So there we go. I've only received that one program. If I now go back into the terminal program, scroll all the way down, and press enter. Press enter here. There we go. 1 succeeded, 1 skipped, and 0 failed. Now, the server application is something I cobbled together extremely quickly. I'd never done any network programming in C# before. It took me about an hour to cobble together. I hope it sort of serves as a demonstration of the sort of thing that you could be running on the calculator, or rather something you could have to serve the calculator. Now, there is also no way to actually quit from here. There's no quit or exit command. So what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to send the escape sequence, which is 3 pluses, in rapid succession, like that. OK, and now I can disconnect by typing ATH to hang up. So there is the TI-WiFiModem project, and I hope you found that interesting, and it might have given you some ideas for what you might do with a calculator that was connected to the internet. But yes, I first saw this TI-83 program about 20 years ago, and I never had the setup to be able to actually use it. So I'm delighted that now, with these cheap ESP8266 microcontroller modules, you can very easily build something that allows you to get your calculator online. And it's something that I've always been curious about, the idea of using this program to go online. But up until very recently, I've never had the opportunity to do so. And now that I have, I can tell you it's been an awful lot of fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, and catch you in the next video.